How important is hope?
Hope is everything. The two things that people need is peace of mind and hope. If you have hope that things are better, you can move forward. If you allow me, I often tell this story about an experiment that took place. They took 10 lab rats, put it in some water, and see how long these lab rats can swim. And they found out about 8 or 9 minutes. Okay, let them drown. And then they took another set of lab rats and let them swim for about 7, 8 minutes. They realized they were getting tired, but they took them out of the water. And then a couple of days later, they put them in again, and they swam. 7 or 8 minutes later, they took them out of the water. And so they took these same lab rats and added them with another 10 lab rats. And they realized the lab rats that were saved previously swam twice as long because they realized or they thought, if I keep swimming, I'm going to get saved. So the sheer volume of hope helps you to keep going. So if a lab rat can learn, if I keep swimming, I can be saved, what can that do for a young person?
How important is exposure?
I always say that we do better when we know better. And we underemphasize that, but it's true. We always do better. A lot of times, individuals that are addicted to destructive behavior, substance, violence, whatever it is, if they're simply taught that there is another way, we do that way. For a long time, we thought that secondhand smoke wasn't dangerous. And then once it was realized that it was, restaurants, hotels, stores said no more smoking. That's what it came from. It wasn't the direct smoking, it was the secondhand that did it. But it was the education first that made us do better as a society. So again, for a young person, if we spend more time in educating that we can do better and this is how I did it, we can move forward.
Okay. Why are you so passionate about what you do? And why are you so passionate about making a difference and helping others be their best?
I think that's a phenomenal question, and I'm going to tell you why. I experience massive failure. I experienced massive failure because I was that person that didn't know better. I was that angry person. I was that violent person. When in my younger days, I was that promiscuous person. I wasn't gravitating toward drugs and alcohol, but it was the other destructive things that moved me away. And because of that, I ruined relationships. I was part of a failed marriage, and it was just my fault, and I take accountability for it. But once I realized that there was another way, and I accepted the help, I realized, man, if I knew this, life would be so much better. So the thing is, I didn't want anybody to suffer like I suffered or struggle like I struggled. And even like when I do a workshop, I always pray, if one person shows up, it's a success. And then they show up, and that's good. So my passion comes from a sympathy and empathy for people to do better because I know from my experience, if you get this, you're going to be okay.
Fantastic. My last question: what do we do as a community, as a nation, as a people, to inspire other professionals like yourself, people that have had success, have taken themselves and pulled themselves up by the bootstraps and conquered some of their demons? How do we get other people and individuals like that, or people that have things to offer to expose other people to, how do we get them passionate like you? What is your idea for that?
It's interesting when we talk about corralling momentum or even getting a consensus. You're thinking, if I can get another person. My take on it is a little different. I feel like let's go ahead and build it. Let's get some tools together and let's help these 13 people or 14 people. Because what will happen is life is really funny and circumstances will change. And when circumstances change for people that have arrived, they become empathetic and sympathetic to people that haven't yet. So what I'm saying is this: let's go ahead and build something that helps our community and our audience at large. And then as we encourage those professionals who have resources to help, we'll ask them for assistance. But if they don't, it's not going to stop our efforts. But what's going to happen is they'll find themselves in a situation where they're going to need some assistance. Because trust me, life will test you. Life will change on you. And when it does, they'll remember that there is an organization that's trying to do better. Let me give them a call because I'm going to need some help myself. So that's how I look at it.
Okay. And your closing statement, if you could say anything to a young person that's having issues with substance abuse and violence, what would be your words of wisdom to them?
I got two parts to that. One, if you can face it, you can fix it. And the second thing is, it's never too late to be a person you could have been. Because what happens a lot of times, people feel like they ran out of time. I was 13 in the 8th grade, and I thought I ran out of time. I mean, that's pathetic. But I know so many young people that feel that way. And they're feeling like that at 7 and 10. But realize, if you can face it, and you do this, you can fix it. Let the effort be yours, and let the opportunity be ours. We'll give you the opportunity if you give us the effort.
Thank you. That was fantastic, dude.
Okay.